Okay, it's fine. So I want us to talk about product development, and this one we will look at the designing and managing products. Products, remember this one when you're talking about product development in regards to also product life cycle. This basically will talk about more of our hospitality industry, okay, even the products that we have in our hospitality industry. So just most of the examples that we also want to use are related also to our industry. Okay, how is it affecting us, and in terms of marketing and so on. So I want us first of all to be able to understand what the term product is. Okay, what is a product? So basically, this is it is basically anything. Okay, a product is anything that can be offered to a market for attention, use, consumption, okay, or consumption that might satisfy a want or a need, okay. So basically, when I'm talking about a want and a need, you can be able even to differentiate between the two, what a want is and a need is, okay. Like for example, when you're talking about a basic need, it's not a basic want, it's a basic need, something that you really need for you to survive. And also this one can be in terms of, a product can be in terms of an object, it can be in terms of a place, in terms of maybe a service and so on. And that's why, for example, when you are mentioning about hospitality products, okay, don't get confused, okay. So if you get to understand what a product is, then you can be able to understand the kind of product that hospitality industries are providing, okay. So a product can either be an object, it can be a service, it can be a place or an organization or an idea, okay. So generally we classify it under a product. So I want us to talk about basically the 4 main product levels that we have. For main product levels. So basically we can talk about the core products. Okay, so first one is the core products. So what are these core products? So the core products, just from the word core, it means the main. The other word is just like the main. The core product is the main product, okay. This is basically the product which the customer is actually buying, okay. Like so the customer is actually buying this product maybe to just maybe solve a certain problem that they are having. Like for example, if it is maybe accommodation, okay, maybe it is either food and the drink that they're going to get. So that is actually, if a guest is just coming there just for accommodation, that is the core product that brought the customer there. If they are just coming for food, then that is the core product. Or if it is a drink, then that is the core product that the hospitality industry is offering to that customer. So they came there to satisfy their need, maybe for the food that they wanted or for the accommodation that they wanted. So basically that is what we refer to core products. So facilitating product is the other level. facilitating products. So when I put, I think, let me just put this one. When I put like this, it shows that it means the same as products down here, okay? So that quotation mark can mean that it is facilitating products. So facilitating products, these are basically the services and or goods, okay? Services or goods that are that maybe are presented to the guest, okay? Maybe for them to efficiently use the core product. Maybe like for example, we can talk about the telephone. Maybe we can talk about the check-in and the check-out services, or the valet services, or the restaurant. Okay, so like for example, a guest maybe has checked in, maybe wanted accommodation. Okay, the extra service maybe that they are going, maybe to say, maybe the facilitating service that they are going to get maybe is through check-in and check-out. Okay, so they will have to use to go to the front office desk for them to do what? To be able to check in, and when they want to get out, they will always check out. Okay, like for example, if they get into the room, if they want maybe a service to be brought to their rooms, then they are going to use a telephone. Okay, so those are facilitating products. Okay, so they are basically facilitating their stay there, okay, in their rooms. So valet services, so who can tell me what a valet is? I think you have done this one in housekeeping. What is a valet? So when we're talking about valet services, what do we mean? So what is a valet? Hey, do you people do housekeeping?
Can I try?
Yes, go ahead, Judith.
I think valet services are as guests arrive, you can help them to carry the luggage. I think from the parking place to from the hotel to, from the reception where they arrive to their rooms. I think so.
Okay, that is according to Judith. Any other person? Hey, you people. Hey, you just attend these sessions and you don't end up, learning. I hope that I think when you were doing housekeeping, you were introduced to the staff who are working in the housekeeping department, just the same way you were introduced to the staff who are working in the house, in the food and beverage service area, and it's kind of an organizational structure. So whatever, I'm giving you examples and you can't even relate to what I am saying. So unfortunate. So that is your homework. It's not for me to assist you. You will go ask during your housekeeping lesson. I don't teach housekeeping, but I remember because I was taught in what a valet is, and you will always find them in the hotel industry. And I guess he's asking, Can I get valet services and you are just there blank? You even don't know what they are speaking. You guys, don't embarrass us. Mary, you want to try? You have disappeared. Okay, mtaipata kwa mtihani. Ama you will get it in real life. Okay? So if you don't get it in your exam, you'll get that person in real life. So so do your homework, do it right, okay? So those are some of the facilitating services that you can be able to get. Maybe, for example, if you want to check into a hotel, maybe to get for accommodation, okay? Remember that was your core product. So I want us to talk about the supporting products that are there. Supporting products. Basically, these are products which are offered to support the core product, okay? Like, for example, just look for a better example. Let's say, like, for example, you just check into the hotel and there's always a business center, okay? There's each and every hotel. I think the ones that I've worked in and the ones that I know, most of them, they always have like a business center. A business center is normally like a small shopping area. It's kind of a shopping area. Like, for example, they make sure that maybe they have photocopiers, they have maybe an M-Pesa, they have like let's say they sell credit, okay, credits, either Safaricom, Airtel, or any other internet, and they will also maybe have which kind of services, cyber, like a cyber cafe. It is they normally have this area which is called the business center. You'll always find them, okay? So if you have worked in the hotel industry, you can relate to this. So those ones are like supporting products, okay? They enhance the stay over customer there. So if a customer maybe came for food and beverage and maybe an email has just come in, they need maybe, for example, to scan a document and send it, so they don't have to get out of the hotel to go get these services outside there, but they will just go to the business center. They will always ask you, do you have even a business center? This actually, our guests are very educated, they know these things. Yeah, so you always have to know whether which kind of services are there, the supporting products, okay? So you'll be able to tell them yes or no according to maybe if they are there. No, like, for example, maybe like a health spa, okay, a massage area, and so on. Some guests will always want this kind of services. Remember, hotel, you are there to welcome and make the guests relax, and they always want like a whole package, just some extras as much as possible. Even if they just came there for accommodation, they might even want, okay, let me try massage, okay, maybe their flight has delayed and they want something extra, okay, maybe the gym and so on. So basically, these are supporting products. They are not the main products. Remember, in hospitality, the core products that we are selling is accommodation, food, and drink, okay? So any other thing that maybe you might think of offering falls under the supporting products and facilitating products. So let's, I think, supporting products, I've summarized it. And let's talk about augmented products. Just have to maybe augmented products. So basically, these are the four main product levels. And augmented products, basically, it's more of the additional services or benefits that are normally, building up the core products. Okay, they are they are not very important. Okay, but yes, still there are some customers who might choose your hotel just because you have these augmented products. Okay, basically they are more of like maybe accessibility in terms of maybe, for example, the opening hours. Is it a 24-hour hotel? Okay, like for example, if there are people who normally want to enjoy themselves, they want to drink, then they will want a place whereby at least it is running for 24 hours. It's not like you are there drinking with your friends and at 10 they you are thrown out. Okay, when you have started enjoying your drinks, that's when you are thrown out. So maybe you'll want maybe to be in an accessible place, which is well located. Okay, you can drive in, drive out nicely, and maybe it is accessible maybe from your workplace or maybe where you stay. So it plays also a role, okay, for a customer to be able to choose your hotel. And maybe atmosphere sounds maybe something maybe many people might ignore, but it plays a very critical role. Okay, like for example, when you're talking about the visual in terms of color, brightness, and so on. Like, for example, you're checking into a room, and the first thing you get attracted to is the color, the brightness. How big is the room? How big, maybe, like, I don't know, they normally don't contribute to the sleep, okay, to the quality of the sleep, but in a way it can influence. Okay, it can influence whether you're going to stay there for the night or not. Okay, so the first thing, even if you want to check in, you will always want to see, okay, is the color like blending well, and is the brightness good. So those are the small things that you might just ignore, but they really play a critical role. And also, like, the hoteliers are making sure that they have already studied their customers so well, so they can be able even to play around with the colors, the brightness, and so on. So is really important. And also, maybe let's say maybe things about aural dimensions. So this is about the volume and the sound. Basically, this is sound. Okay, like for example, most of the hotels are trying to incorporate jazz music. Okay, I don't know how many people love jazz music here, but I think I love jazz music. I think maybe I've worked in the industry so much, I've kept on listening to jazz. But there is I think if you get to understand what jazz music is and what it represents, then you might be able to understand why jazz should be played in the in the hotel industry, because jazz is more of like a background. We normally use it like a background, like a background music, okay, because most of it is instrumental. Okay, so like it's more of relaxing. It's more like you can be able to do your work, but still you get that relaxing feeling, and so on. So if you can be able to really be able to understand which kind of music that you can play, like for example, you are it is people came there for dining, like for example, if it is they wanted maybe the core product, which is food or drinks, then you can just play jazz music from afar. Okay, because it is not interruptive. People can just be able to have their own discussions, but the silence can also be broken by that kind of jazz music at the end of the day. So people will want to come to your hotel because they feel like you really feel them, like you kind of understand them. Okay, so, and that's why you will notice if you go to this as this big star hotels, then you will notice that this kind of music has its own relevance, and also the target population. Okay, like for example, I don't know, there's my students from another class who are telling me that jazz music is I don't know, related to maybe a certain class of people. I don't know. They were saying that it is related to billionaires, people who have money, or are the ones who normally listen to jazz. I don't know if you share with the same, you know, uh, thinking as them, but you will notice that this kind of music, okay, the old people, I we talked about these generations, okay, like these old people are, especially the baby boomers, are normally into jazz, okay, and if they are your target customers, then that's the best music you can give, and they will enjoy, they will keep on coming there without you knowing. Okay, some of them won't tell you that the kind of music that you're playing is the best, but it will make them keep on music loving your place, coming there more oftenly. So I think also, Redemptor, you're saying, okay, Wi-Fi, yes, it falls under augmented products. So basically, that one, it's something that it is offers maybe the customer interaction, okay, in terms of even if I am at the lobby area, I might just, like wait. I can wait maybe to be the next in line, maybe, to talk to the front office personnel, but still I can be able to get in touch with my social media. I can be able to talk to my friends and so on. So that one is okay. And still at atmosphere, we also have olfactory dimensions, which talks about the scent and freshness. Okay, I don't know if you can relate a certain scent with an establishment you have been to. I don't know. It plays a very, very key role. Okay, like for example, to the ladies, I don't know, ladies, we are so sensitive. The men might not understand the, scent and, the freshness and so on. You might just walk into a place and you're like, this place is stale. Okay. Like you're just walking into a place and you feel, the dampness and so on, and it puts you off. Okay. So the hotel also makes sure that, the place smells fresh. Okay. And that's why you'll always find rose flowers. They are really, trying to go out of their way, placing rose flowers at the front desk, so that even if the guest is there, they can just smell the freshness. And maybe if it is the washrooms, they will invest in very nice scents that you walk into the washroom, you don't even feel like it is a washroom. Okay, you don't have to have those characteristic smells. Okay, so they will always make sure that there is a certain scent that is like you can relate to their hotel. So each and every guest might have their own sensory channels, which are really something that the establishment should also make sure that they have catered for. And the last one, maybe when we're talking about the touch dimensions, okay, like touch dimension is basically you can touch and feel the texture and the smoothness and the temperature. So like I think it's not this class I was telling about, like for example, the type of linen and the type of furniture, the type of curtains and so whatnot that the hotel normally invests in. Okay, like for example, if it is a star-rated hotel and it is a 5-star or a 4-star, then they will make sure that they are investing in high quality products or equipment, because at the end of the day, as ladies, I'm speaking from the perspective of ladies and our nature, we will always, tell the quality, okay, the quality of linen, the quality of a cloth, or the quality of maybe something by how smooth the texture is or how soft it is and so whatnot. So there are ladies, like for example, there are, working class ladies who have the money, who are able to, to go to these hotels, and definitely they will want to see, am I paying for the real quality? Okay, you especially if you just lay, maybe for example, a napkin, you're welcoming the guest and you are, laying a napkin on their laps, then they won't, avoid to touch it. Okay, like for example, if they just want, you have laid your tablecloth or your sleep clothes and so whatnot, so they will always want to touch the texture of the linen. Okay, they can tell whether this is quality or not. Okay, the beddings, if it is accommodation, if the lady maybe has, checked into the room, they will want to see that, it is the linen is crisp white. Okay, like for example, most of our linens, especially in the hotel industry, are normally white in color. Okay, most of them. Some hotels can change, but mostly they normally have white in color. So they will always want to check. Okay, they will feel the smoothness, the texture and so whatnot. So these are things that I have seen in the industry, whereby you find that the lady, especially most of the ladies, are complain in terms of maybe, for example, the texture. They will like, oh yeah, the slip was well, but like, I don't know, the bed sheets were not that smooth. Okay, you might think of it, why should they have even to feel the texture of the linen? But you will have to note that these are things that you cannot, avoid. Okay, so it might affect them choosing your hotel again without, if you are not careful to go to improve on the quality. Okay, but they might even end up, both bad mouthing your hotel just because of the bed sheets, which were not smooth, they were not, soft enough, and so on. And I don't know, most of the time, and that's why we always have even softeners. Okay, especially if you're going to work even in the laundry, because most of the time, I think when you are learning about housekeeping, if you're learning housekeeping, then you'll notice that you'll be taught something small about laundry. Okay, so you'll notice that even the type of detergents, we also have to make sure that we use softeners. Okay, because you can imagine at home when you are washing, like for example, your towel, and you just dry it, no softeners, no nothing. You wash your towel and put it to dry, you will find that it is hard. Okay, there's a bit of those bristles become a bit hard, and if they become hard and you are rubbing yourself, trying to put off water, okay, then it is going to how is it called, it's going to make you uncomfortable. Okay, so you can't put such kind of towels to the guest. Okay, they will always complain, either you like it or not. They might generally say that your services are bad, but trying to ask further, you will notice maybe it's just because the towel was hard, it wasn't soft. So that's why you will always note that at the end of the day, you will always have to put the softeners for them, at least this kind of linen, to be softened. Okay, so it is really important to make sure that you have understood these aspects. They not only help you in your daily life, for you can do without, but the guests, remember, they are paying a lot of money even to stay in that hotel. Okay, so these small things, you try avoiding them, and that's why you will always see ironing is a must. Okay, you'll always see things perfect, because the customers need them perfect. they're paying you for it, and that's why you are also learning, and so you should also get the quality for the money that you are paying for, so that at least when you go to the industry, you are well equipped to these things. You are not, you are not surprised why but my lecturer did not tell me this and so whatnot. So to avoid all that, it is really important for us to be able to know it. And I don't know, when you're doing this, especially housekeeping, these units that require just general knowledge, as a by the way, when you're doing the units that require a bit of practicality, you should be able to ask a lot of questions, okay? Because these things you're going to do practically. When you're talking about housekeeping, you're talking about production, you're talking about service, you will swim when you get into the industry. You should at least ask as many questions, even if it sounds irrelevant. Ask them, because even if it is marketing, it is a subordinate department. It helps you understand, because in marketing, we always sell the service, making sure that whatever that is done, okay, the core products are marketed well, okay? So even if you're going to talk about accommodation, selling accommodation, it's not a joke. So you have to, give them the real feeling, okay? So even if it means describing how, everything is crisp white and so whatnot, for them just to be able to even feel to be able to enjoy even the accommodation, even if they have not come there, then it should be something that is done well. Okay, so you don't want to embarrass yourself at the end of the day when they're like, you marketed to us, but it is not what we had expected. So definitely they won't be able to come back. So I want us to talk about unless there is any question. Unless there is any question. Unless there is any question, I want us to talk about the product development. I want us to talk, at least you have gotten an idea what a product is from the start. And so what goes on, okay, the various levels of a product. Okay, so I want us to go straight to product development and just understand on how the product comes to the market. Okay, from when the product is produced and when it is distributed to the consumers and so on. Okay, so you'll note that there is a lot of procedures that have to be followed. So first of all, before even a product is developed, there is an idea generation. Okay, I'll write it here. So in product development, we have idea generation. This is whereby, especially product development, I mean a new product. Okay, this is not a product that have that has existed in the market, but it is a new product that you want to come up with. Okay, maybe you have several products, but you just want to top up a new product. So you will have to, have an idea first of all. Okay, idea generation. Okay, so idea generation normally comes from the internal sources. It comes from customers, it comes from competitors, it comes from distributors or suppliers. Just to summarize all this, especially if it is the internal sources are like the employees. Okay, so this is whereby an employee can come up maybe with an idea. Okay, the first of all you have to listen to are your employees. Okay, so most of the time I think each and every some hotels normally have a question. They normally draft a questionnaires, or draft some how do you call it? It's just call it questionnaires or surveys, whereby the employees are given maybe to generate, maybe to give opinions on maybe a new product they think that can work or supplement an existing product that is there. So they will always, like give feedback. Maybe they will choose to work with the employees in feedback in regarding to the new product that they want, and then maybe they can award you. Okay, they can reward you at the end of the year. They will be like, the best, or maybe the person with the best idea. Okay, the best ideas and so what. And basically in that they can be able to even give you maybe an extra bonus. They can give you a present. They can even promote you. Okay, so maybe that will be the reward that can motivate the employees maybe to generate good ideas according to the product. When it comes to customers, is basically I don't know if you've worked, maybe for example, even if you have worked in a shop or a small place, or you have helped maybe your relatives or your parents with their businesses, and there's always there are those customers that are talkative. Okay, even if you do not ask them, they will always say, by the way, why don't you, add this product? I really like it. Okay. So you will think on that line. Or for instance, you can be able even to ask them, okay, maybe you can have a short survey. You can ask them, what do you think if we could have an extra product? What product would you have loved for us to have? So they can give you an ideas. And at the end of the day, if they are able, you can be able to, go with the one that, a lot of people want. Okay, so then you can work on it. Or for example, if it is competitors, so you will always check on your competitors, and see what products are they coming up with. Okay, so if it is something that you can also, conceptualize, or you can be able to, come up with, then you will want to go to the same, direction. And you can see how, if you can be able to relate what is happening in our, in our market, you'll notice that a company starts with a new product, the next one comes with it, the other one, it's just like, for example, when you're talking about sanitizers. Okay, that's a very good example with what is happening. So earlier on you could see that there are some companies which used not even to produce sanitizers. Okay, like Amara. So nowadays you see Amara producing what? Sanitizers. So you're like, okay, so there's that copy pasting depending on what your competitors are doing, and you see that it is working for them, so you can copy paste depending on what they are doing. Okay, it's just like, for example, like soft care. You notice that they have come up with another product, which is the sanitary pads for the ladies. So you notice that they come up with products that maybe, for example, they saw from their competitors, they got information from the customers. Maybe the customers were asking, why not come up with this product? Or maybe the employees are the ones who feel like, if we come up with this product, it can do well. Okay, so there is a bit of relation that goes on. So basically, I think I have summarized all through that. So after the idea generation, we go to idea screening. Idea screening. This is whereby after you have come up with these ideas, maybe from your competitors, from your internal sources, then you will want to screen them. Okay, screening is basically like a sieve. You know how a sieve works? Okay, kichungi. Okay, so you remove the good ones and the bad ones. Okay, so it's like you have to separate. So that's basically what screening is. So you will have to look for the ones that are good ideas, and the ones that are, the ones that are the poor ideas, you drop them. Okay, so you go with also ideas that you think are workable. Okay, so sometimes, like for example, if it is Blue Band, most of you have already seen that Blue Band have come up with another product called the mayonnaise. Okay, so you can be able even to see what is workable. Okay, so is there a relationship with whatever that you have been producing? If you notice that this one can relate to our product and people can even want to buy our product, then definitely you will take it. Okay, so that is the entire process that like Blue Band used to come up with mayonnaise. So after idea screening, you have concept development and testing. If you have questions in between, you can notify me. Concept development and testing. This is whereby at least so this is whereby when you are developing this concept development, remember it's just an idea. Okay, concept development is just an idea, whereby remember customers don't buy an idea. Okay, and that's why we always say that I don't know, just don't quote me. Sometimes people with the best ideas are the poorest. I don't know if it is true, but you'll always see that an idea is just not enough. Okay, but is your idea something that can you create a product out of that idea? At the end of the day, people just don't want people who normally, like, as much as you have good ideas, we can listen to them, but can you be able to conceptualize your ideas into a product at the end of the day? So less talking, more working. Okay, so basically the concept development is whereby you are coming up with making this idea translate into a product. Okay, so in terms of maybe, for example, when you're talking about the testing part, is whereby you will be able to maybe represent maybe your idea product concept in terms of maybe picture presentation. Okay, like for example, you can draw it, you can sketch it. Okay, make it like a skeleton, or maybe you can be able to maybe look at the attitude of the customers. Okay, just even before even uh, bringing that product to birth, you can be able even to ask the customers, okay, what do you think about this product? Okay, like if you are to buy a product, I don't know how many people take surveys of, whenever these surveys pop up, they will always keep on asking, if you can buy a product, could you maybe think of buying mayonnaise, maybe from a product from Blue Band? Okay, so maybe they can check on the attitude. Okay, is it acceptable? Yeah. So after that, maybe that's when they will go to marketing strategy. Okay, another, just write it here. So they will check on the marketing strategy. They will look on the marketing. So the marketing strategy, I think we have done it before, so you can be able to relate to this. So basically, it is more of just describing the target market, okay, and how you're going to position the planned market, making sure that at least the product will meet the right market, the right people, the right consumers. So, and also you will try to outline the price range. Okay, so how much is this going to, can customers buy? Okay, if it is matters of distribution, you're going to look at how much are we going to use in terms of distributing this product. So you will also have to look on all this marketing strategy to enable you, even if you're going to enter to make the decision of developing this product, it is something that you have already looked at its pros and cons. Okay, so pros and cons definitely mean the advantages and the disadvantages that you have. At the end of the day, you'll always have to go with the one that has a lot of advantages. So another one is business analysis. After marketing strategy, you go to business analysis. I think I should have written in a point form just to avoid confusion. So business analysis, you will look at, basically you're going to review, okay? It's just like reviewing the cost, the sales and the profit projections. At the end of the day, what normally happens is you have an estimate, okay? The company always works with estimate. At the end of the day, you'll always want to know that the profits, in case that we make sales of this, okay? And if our maybe raw ingredients are going to cost at this amount of money, okay, are we going to satisfy the company's objectives? At the end of the day, you will always have to think about you, okay? Are we going to make profits? And also, I don't know, have you done food control? Food control, have you done food control? Or do you have a unit called food control? Respond. If not, let me know. Have you done that one? Might be assuming and they have not yet done. Oh, we have. Okay, so it's fine. So if you have done control, then you can be able even to understand the business analysis well, whereby at least even if it is a business that you want to set up, at the end of the day, your objective as a business is making profit. Okay, so you're not there for charity. Okay, so if you want to start a hotel, for instance, or a restaurant, you're not there for charity. Okay, so at the end of the day, you have to pay your employees, you have to pay for the raw ingredients, you have to pay for the establishment, you have to pay for the license, so you also have to pay yourself. Okay, so if you have to do all that, then it's really important to think about the business analysis. So if you're going to sell food, if it is a plate that you're selling at 150 shillings, then definitely you have thought about removing the costs, each and everything, all your expenses, you have removed them, and at the end of the day, you have done what? You have profit. I don't know if you have already calculated in your mind what I'm talking about, but I think all of us, we understand. So you'll always have to do your math well and make sure that at the end of the day, you have satisfied your company's what? Objective. And one of the objective is profit. Okay. So we can go straight to product development. So remember, these units, you just don't do these units just because they are available, but these units, you normally do them. There is a procedure in which, even if you are doing your units, whereby your units, you are normally given just to build up. Okay, like for example, you can't have marketing as in your first semester. So you might not understand when maybe I use some terms. Okay, so if you could have done maybe marketing in your first semester, you could be totally confused because you even don't know the basis. Okay, where are we coming from? Where are we heading? Okay, so if you're doing marketing, then your knowledge is thought of to be a bit mature. You can be able even to relate with some examples maybe the lecturer is going to give you. So, and that's why whenever I ask you whether I use some examples, it is an assumption that you have already done. Okay, so it is just like carrying you through to another level. So if you forget whatever that you learn, then I think if you're in semester 3, semester 4, it will be a bit rough for you. So you always carry whatever that you have learned before, whatever that you are doing. There's always a relationship. Not exactly that it is going to be the same, but there will always be a relationships in terms of examples, in terms of you even understanding the topic better, and so on. So just don't forget easily. So basically, you after all this up to business analysis, you will go straight to product development. Okay, so in your product development, you will always, have to include all the key features in which the consumers had, given input to. Okay, so for example, they will say maybe what if maybe it has, maybe like for example, if it is mayonnaise, for instance, some people just maybe preparing of mayonnaise, most of the time it is not important to put the seasoning, but there are some customers, the consumers, who are going to be like, oh, what if you add a bit of pepper? Okay, what if you add maybe a bit of black pepper to it, or maybe what if you add maybe a different, maybe another herb, just to to make the product look good. Okay, so basically those are the key things that you're going to consider during the product development. And in your product development, you also want to check on the safety. Okay, how safe it is to use, and so on. So and also check on if that product can be produced according to the budget that you have put there. Okay, so at the end of the day, the company has to set aside a certain amount of money if it is this product. So it shouldn't, exceed a certain amount of money that they have projected. So that budget has to be met at the end of the day. So if it requires you, cutting down a few things from your product, then so be it. So you have to make sure that you have done that during the product development. So after you have developed your product, so you will always have to go and test it in the market. So that's what we call test marketing. Okay. Test marketing, this is whereby you are introducing this product. Okay, you are introducing this product to the market just to see how the customers are going to maybe to respond to it. So the customer, at the end of the day, the marketer is also going to gain experience. Okay, will also gain experience in marketing the product. So at the end of the day, you as a marketer, you'll be able to find that it is not, this is just not, it is a new product. Okay, so you're also going to learn on how you are going to market it. Okay, so are you trying to market the ingredients that are there, or are you going to market the packaging? So what are you essentially trying to market? It's just like, for example, what most of the oils are doing. You notice that the cape, okay, the top cape of maybe most of the cooking oil, they have come up with a different cape, whereby at least when you pour the oil, it doesn't go over the container and you have to wipe it. A lot of leakage, okay, and wastage. So they have tried, even if it is marketing, when you hear them marketing these cooking oils, you will see that most of the important part they will always have to mention is about the caping, okay, the new caping that they have come up with, whereby at least when you pour the oil, it does not run over, okay, and there is no wastage. You can even be able to measure. So if actually the cooking oil that I have, I can be able even to measure and see if I need 10 ml, if I need 20 ml, 30. So at least they have given me another advantage. So they will keep on marketing that product just because of that specific additional caping that they have put there. So if they think that the customers are going to love the caping more, then they will have to emphasize on it just to get more customers. Okay, so you will always prefer it to another cooking oil just because of that simple keeping that they have put across. So in test marketing, basically you will always look at the advertising. Okay, you want to know how to advertise it. You'll want to know how you're going to distribute it, how the pricing will be affected. Maybe, for example, if you realize, okay, people prefer it, maybe if it is cheaper, it goes faster, then basically you might want to raise maybe your prices a bit higher, just at least not to go a bit of losses. Branding, you will always think on how to rebrand, okay, each and every time. Just maybe the packaging, if you see that the packaging, maybe people are not liking it, then definitely you will want to change the packaging to be able to suit the exact product. So basically that is testing the market, getting to understand more what the customer really wants. So after test marketing, you will go to commercialization. Okay. So this is the end of the product development, whereby when you commercialize it. And check my spelling. I don't know whether I've written it. Well, I think it's okay. Commercialization. So basically, commercialization Oh, sorry. So basically, when you're talking about commercialization, so this is basically when the product is brought to the marketplace. Okay, so you have already tested the product, you have rectified one or two things, maybe in terms of the packaging. Okay, you have talked, you have seen how you can best advertise it and so on. So when you are commercializing it, then you will always have to make sure that you make maybe some decisions, like for example, when is the right time to introduce the new product. Okay, where the company must decide whether to launch the new product in a single location, maybe in an internal market, and so on. Okay, so basically you have to look at maybe 4 decisions to be able to sell your product to the right market. So any question about product development? Any question? Because I want us to just uh, dive in into the product life cycle. Any question about product development? You also have to move with me with speed. Product life cycle. This is actually quite important. It normally comes with a figure. I don't know whether I can be able to draw here. Let me see whether I can be able to draw. Be a bit patient. So choose a color. Let's choose blue. So this one normally comes with a diagram. I'm just going to try drawing it. And most of the time you'll be required to draw this diagram. You might find it in your exams, whereby you're supposed to draw that diagram. Let's see. So we have product sales. Let me see. Just a minute. So I think I can draw other lines here. Each color. I don't know, some of you might be colorblind. I'm really trying my very best to be a bit accurate. So make sure you are drawing this diagram. Okay. So I think there's another hard part that is coming. Okay. So just for you to be able to understand how this works. Which other color haven't we used? Is it red? Red is a bit shouting. Don't have to draw like, really trying. Okay, I think I've done a good job. So this one has an arrow showing that it goes that side. And this one also has an arrow showing that it goes upward. So make sure you're drawing yours nicely. Then just give you some descriptions. You can be able to tilt the laptop. So we're going to write here. No. I think we should use a black color. Product sales. Okay, the upper one describes the product sales, how it is going upwards. Maybe you can be able to understand even what Morioki and Eric were describing, just that their description wasn't that clear enough. So basically, the product life cycle is it has four stages. We normally call it the product life cycle stages, and so down here on this line, just a minute. On this line down here is where we are going to indicate time. Okay, time is also a factor. It's a factor that can influence how these products are going to move. So on this against this line that is going up, is it called, we call it the vertical line? Is it the vertical? And this down one, we call it the horizontal. You can correct me if I have confused it. So the vertical, against the vertical line, we have the product sales, and against the horizontal line, we have the time. Okay, so the sales can be affected with time. Okay, it shows that the sales are affected with time. This is, you have done this in your math, you have done it in your studies, so you can be able to understand this graph. So I assume you can be able to understand. So we have these four stages that normally affect the product life cycle. And the first one, we have the introduction. Let me see. So sometimes most people normally they go straight to introduction stage before even the a minute. Okay, you will find that most descriptions that you might come across, if you just go straight to the internet, they normally eliminate the production development and go straight to introduction stage. They will talk about the growth stage, they talk about maturity, and decline as the fifth stages. Okay, but ours, we are going to talk about we are going to describe it with the 5 stages. Okay, some of the books, or some of the, if you go to the internet, you'll find that they have the four stages. Okay, but it is also very important to know that they are 5. Okay, so basically I'm going to teach you about these 5 stages. So the 5 stages are really important. So basically, here we are going to talk more of the product development and introduction. We're going to combine them. So you can be able to indicate, actually just indicate here, if you can be able to see my pointer, the way that I'm moving it, I might just use maybe initials, just to be able to, because of the spacing, but it is good to be able to indicate. We will talk about product development, VPD, and I. So it stands for product development and introduction. Okay. So the product development actually starts when the company develops, the conceptualized idea into a product. Okay, so basically it is whereby the sales are zero and the company's investment are high. Okay, so you can see it from our graph here. So especially here, this is where the development of the product is at. Okay, so the sales are zero. Oh, okay. So I think you should indicate here at the far corner here, you should even indicate zero to show that, the product development here is zero. The sales, actually, the sales are zero. And the investment of the company is high because a lot of, the company is pumping a lot of money to this product. Okay. So after that, at this level here between the zero and this other vertical line on this other side is whereby we have the introduction stage. So that's where the stage start from, this introduction stage. So basically you can see even from that from the graph that the period of sales, the growth sales is actually slow. You can see how slow it is. It's, people are not really accepting it. Okay. So people are not actually accepting it. Okay, so it takes time and sales growth. It takes a lot of time for it to for sales to be there. So you can see it is actually struggling to peak. So, and also in that stage, you'll always find that these stages, they have strategies. Okay, you can see that even they have some descriptions, and that's why I told you that it is really important for you to be able to understand this graph, because you will also be required to be able to explain how this product life cycle works. Okay, it's just for you to be able to know that this around this period there is a very slow growth rate of the product, and the profit is non-existent. Okay, so you cannot be able even to say that you have made profit, because also the introduction of a product into the market, it comes with a lot of expense. Okay, the introduction requires a lot of expense. Okay, you need to advertise it, you need to bring it out to the market for people to accept it. So, and also at this point, you can also see that competitors are not there. You can see that the competitors are not there. Maybe they are just there waiting to see whether your product is going to be accepted or not, even before even they start copying your product. So at that time, competitors are basically so few. Okay. And the company's focus is mainly just to sell it to the customers who are ready to buy. Okay, especially maybe the higher income groups. So their target is mainly on the higher income groups. So we go to the next one, which we call the growth stage. So this one, so this one we call it the growth stage. So you can see how the curve is, taking is a steep, movement from where it was from 0 or maybe a bit of 10%. Here it is shooting up. Okay, so you can see how it is actually moving from the introduction stage to the growth stage, and in that stage you can see that at this period the market is rapidly accepting, is actually accepting this product, and you can also profits are trickling in. So profits are actually also trickling in, and the sales are climbing so quickly. Okay, so you can see that the curve is shooting up. It is not, it doesn't look like it is going to collapse anytime. So basically, the early adopters, maybe the consumers, are buying, okay, and also the late buyers also are doing the same. They're also buying. So this is basically, which is normally maybe through the word of mouth during, maybe for example, they loved the product and they are telling their friends, okay, and of course how maybe your friends are, they will always want to try the product. Okay, so word of mouth here is really working, and a lot of buyers are going for that product, and that's why you can see that even the graph is really shooting high. And at this point is whereby also the competitors enter the market. Okay, so they are basically attracted more on how your product is really moving so fast in the market, people are buying it, and how you're really making uh, uh, how you're making profit. Okay, so at this growth stage you can see that at least profits are coming through. So let's go to the maturity. So the next stage is maturity. Let's just indicate it here. So yeah, it has fit. So that's this space is actually maturity. So you can also see that the graph is really moving fast. It is going up. So basically that is triggered by maybe a lot of sales that are happening at that stage. So at this period, so you can say that the product has actually achieved acceptance, okay, by most of their potential buyers. So people can, like if they go to the market, there is no other product that they will pick apart from your product. Okay, so remember that their customers are quite funny. Okay, there are customers who normally focus, there are people who are not easy to change. Okay, if they just decide this is a product I'm going to die with, it is your product. And there are people, and you will always also understand, there are also those customers who always want to try new things. Okay, and I think those are the ones who are full in the market. Okay, they will always want, if maybe if they were using tenor tissue, Hanan comes with a tissue, they will want to try Hanan tissue. If tomorrow another, a tissue comes up, they will go. They just hop around. Okay, so I don't know. I don't know if we have such kind of people also in this class, but the other buyers who will, I don't know, especially our parents, we can relate to that. There are parents who just maybe for instance love Nivea products, you can never take them away from Nivea. Okay, so you mention Nivea, they will always go for any product that Nivea will come up with. Okay, but they do not want to try any other product out there. Okay, so maybe you find that even if you always find that Nivea is expensive yet, but there are people who are stuck to it to death. Okay, unless they are out of the market totally, they can't find any other Nivea product, that's when they will go away. But if there is another product, okay, even if it is even cheaper, trust me, they can't buy. So such customers are the ones maybe which fall under the maturity. Okay, so they have already loved your product and they are, they keep on coming back for it. So you can see that that is the point whereby profits level off. Okay, so whenever the profits level off, so meaning that the declining, okay, starts manifesting itself. Okay, so maybe this one can be in terms of maybe competitors have already come into the market. Maybe people even copy paste. People have already copy pasted your product, and they have even started selling it at a cheaper price. Okay, so your customers, the ones who are easily swayed, are going to the other side, and that's why you can see that it reaches a point whereby the graph kind of slows down. Okay, so there is a slowdown in sales growth. And also because there is a lot of products which are coming in from all corners. The competitors are really coming into your market with lower priced products. Okay, a lot of advertising. Hey, trust me, competition is real. Okay, so this is whereby if you had not capitalized or changed your strategies during the growth stage, and it is really important for you to be able to know this product life cycle helps you, especially if you're a business person, to be able to work through. You shouldn't be on the comfort zone. Even if you develop a product, people can always create competition. They will copy paste your product and they will make you get out of the market. So at this stage is very critical. So this is whereby you're going to ensure the growth stage. Most importantly, you will be able to come up maybe with a better product. Okay, making sure that at least the product here, you have started looking for ways to improve it. Okay, so if you see that the growth is really going up, remember your competitors are just there watching. Okay, so they are just there peeping to see, and if they realize that this is a real deal, then they will want to get into your market. And if they invest into your market, then definitely they are going to cause a lot of damages, especially during the maturity stage, whereby it will just make the graph go to a dead end. Okay, so that's where you, at least if you're a smart person, you try looking for ways in which you can better your product so that it is not declared redundant. So after that, you can see that we have the last stage, which we call the decline stage. Okay, this is the dead end. Okay, so that is the stage which is you are pushed out of the market if you did not make good use of your you didn't check this graph nicely. Okay, so you'll notice that these people who, even if you are employed into these positions, you really need to scratch your head really well for you not to be overthrown so easily out of the market, and so on. So at this decline stage, so you have to make sure at least the profits, of course, have dropped. Okay, so the sales, so you can see if the sales have already have dropped, then definitely the profits will follow. Okay, so basically you see that the sales have dropped, the profits have also dropped. So basically maybe this one is caused maybe in terms of maybe shift in customer taste. Okay, the taste have the customers have, they no longer like your drink or your product. Maybe if it is your tissue, it no longer meets the customer's requirements, or maybe they have been a better product that has been developed and you haven't noted. Okay, maybe technological advances, like for example in the hospitality industry, you'll notice maybe people are going out of analog, they are going into digital. You might wonder why your services are not being preferred. So basically you'll want maybe to top up your the technology. Okay, if it is maybe check-in, you have to make sure that at least you reduce the time in which the customers maybe come and they have to fill the information. It's a bit cumbersome, so you have to make sure that at least you are moving with the trend. And maybe another reason which might be causing the decline at that stage, it can be increased competition. Okay, so a lot of companies are coming into your product. They have uh, uh, come up with a better product. Okay, or maybe their pricing has gone down, so it might be causing what? The decline. Okay, so I think that's the product life cycle. Unless we have any question, I think I've explained it. I've explained it well. So any question?